How's it going, guys and gals? This is Anthony and today we're back at it with a new video on the channel where today we'll be talking about what happened on Saturday night's main event 41. This was a show that was kind of a stepping stone on the build up to War Games, but due to Seth Rollins' injury on Crown Jewel gained a lot more importance with the passage of time. And we have 4 matches on this show. All of them were title matches. And since it's no longer airing on NBC, on Puerto Rico and US, it's only airing on Peacock and obviously Netflix internationally, there was no commercial breaks during matches, which made the show a lot more watchable and felt more structured, like a PLE, like a pay-per-view. And they gave them 2 minutes off an overrun. It started at 7 p.m. Eastern and it ended at 9:02 p.m. So I actually really like that. Two hours, perfect. I love that. So, and we've also got a big announcement of who John Cena's final opponent is going to be, and we're gonna go straight up to it. So if you like this type of content, like, comment, share, and subscribe. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So the show kicked off with the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. The stipulation of this match was announced the night before on Friday Night SmackDown, where if Cody Rhodes got counted out or disqualified, he would lose the title. Because if you remember, on the October 17th edition of Friday Night SmackDown, Drew McIntyre was supposed to face Jacob Fatu in a number 1 contenders match where the winner would face Cody on Saturday night's main event. But due to Jacob Fatu's tooth infection, he got ridden off TV by in the way of a backstage attack, and Cody came out and fought Drew McIntyre in a title match where Drew McIntyre won by disqualification. So therefore, that was the stipulation for this match. There was some pretty good stuff in this match where I thought Drew was gonna win. Seriously, but I understand why Cody retained because of the finish. People are saying Drew McIntyre was buried. No, he wasn't. If you look at how the match ended and some of Cody Rhodes' facial expressions, you would understand why Drew McIntyre lost. But before we get there, let's talk about some of the good spots in this match. I mean, Cody fighting from underneath, Drew always cutting him off, Cody getting frustrated throughout the match, not listening to the referee, almost getting disqualified by accidentally shoving the referee. There was a great spot here. This would have been such a great finish if Drew was gonna win, because it would have been the greatest way a heel could win a title, is when Cody Rhodes is thrown out of the ring, but he lands on standing on the apron, and then Drew McIntyre runs from the other side of the ring and shoves him into the announce table, reminiscent of the Bret Hart Diesel spot from Survivor Series 1995, where Bret goes flying onto the announce table. I mean, At least this time it wasn't the Spanish announce table like it was in Survivor Series 1995. And Cody's laying there, and the ref is counting, and the count is at 9, and he barely gets in. And I'm like, man, that was such a great false finish. Another great false finisher is when Drew brings the title in and throws it to Cody Rhodes, and Cody's thinking about hitting him. And the ref is like, if you hit him, you lose the title. Cody gives the title to the ref, and Drew McIntyre jumps in without even running. Boom! A one-step Claymore kick, which I haven't seen in like 5 years. Drew McIntyre do because he would normally do that one-step Claymore back when he was a babyface between 2019 and 2020, when he was the face of the company at that time. 1, 2, Cody kicks out. Great false finish there. And well, the finish came in when Cody got pushed into the referee by Drew McIntyre. Drew brings the title back in. He tries to hit Cody. The title falls down. Cody Rhodes babyface Fox, Drew McIntyre with a DDT. And for the people that may be laughing, that is the wrestling term that is used when a heel tries to cheat, but then the babyface gives the heel a taste of its own medicine, like returning the cheating back to him. It's called a babyface fuck. So Cody does a babyface fuck to Drew McIntyre, DDT onto the title, Crossroads, 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes retained the WWE Championship, and he smiles looking at Drew McIntyre. So I like how they did this in a way to keep making people think maybe Cody did attack Jacob Fatu. So maybe and because remember, this wasn't the original plan for Saturday Night's Main Event. The original plan for Saturday Night's Main Event was to be Cody versus Jacob, with Cody retaining, and then at the end of the match, show of respect. Jacob raises Cody's arm, they hug, and then we continue. So Cody retaining here, whatever. This is gonna lead up to maybe a stipulation match at Survivor Series, because remember, it's a stadium show, and I think that Drew's winning the title. If Drew is gonna win the title, it's gonna be on a stadium show. It's not gonna be on fucking Salt Lake, Utah, and where the Utah Jazz play. Like, sometimes people need to understand that. So Drew has an out to ask for a stipulation match at Survivor Series. Cody retains and keeps making people doubt if he was the guy that attacked Jacob Fatu. Even though we all know it wasn't Cody, it's gonna be revealed that the guy that attacked Jacob Fatu is Randy Orton. So I like how we are building the Cody. This angle is building up 3 feuds at a time. It's building Cody and Drew, it's building Jacob and Orton, and it's building Cody versus Randy. Like, Cody versus Randy, Jacob versus Randy, Cody versus Drew. Drew versus Randy, maybe they'll have a blow off because that feud is not over. So we have like 4 feuds at the same time being built up just by the finish of this match. And this is, and I watched Triple H book for like 13 years, so I know what he's trying to do, and I really like it. So on to the next one. Next up, we had the WWE Women's Championship match. where Tiffany Stratton defended the title against Jade Cargill. And as we know, on the October 24th edition of SmackDown, Jade Cargill turned heel, attacking Tiffy, leaving her laid out, attacking the knee. And on the October 31st episode of SmackDown, Tiffany was looking for Jay, and Nick was like, hey, you're injured, you're barely cleared to compete on Saturday night's main event. I don't want you to get taken out again. So Tiffany comes in, she's selling this knee injury. Jade looks as dominant as ever. The match doesn't even last 5 minutes. Tiffy gets practically squashed. 1, 2, 3. Jade is your new WWE Women's Champion. And I think this is where we begin the build-up for finally the match between Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair that we have been waiting for over a year and a half. Ever since those two started teaming up, this is the match that we have been waiting for, that we've been waiting for to happen. So this is the starting of that. And by the way, where the hell is Bianca Belair? She's been out since April with a broken finger. Like, where the hell is Bianca Belair? Like, does she have a more serious injury? Because there's no way that you are 7 months out with a broken finger. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing else that I can talk here. Tiffany got squashed. Jay looked dominant, new women's champion. On the semi-main event, we had the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, where the AAA Mega Champion Rey Mysterio, Dominic. Why did I say Rey? What the hell? Where the AAA Mega Champion and Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio. I just saw something of Rey posting something about Dominic, and that stuck with me. But yeah, El Mega Campeón Dominic Mysterio defended his Intercontinental Championship against Penta and Rusev. So we all know last Monday night, Los Americanos interfered in the number one contenders match between Penta and Rusev. And that way, Dominic got punished with a triple threat match. And that's how we got to this point. Man, like some of the spots here were actually pretty fun. Where like Dominic was trying to get a chair into the ring and threw it into Rusev, and he was like, ref, did disqualify him. And the ref is like, hey, it's a triple threat, there's no disqualification. And Rusev smiles and beats the hell out of Dominic with a chair. And then there was a great spot here where like Rusev is in all fours. Penta jumps off from Rusev's back onto Dominic into a Canadian Destroyer that led into a great false finish. And the finish came in where where Penta is caught by Rusev, super kick, the accolade is put on. We hear the bell, but Penta hasn't tapped out. Penta has not tapped out, but Rusev thinks he's won the title. And then he says that Dominic is the one that rung the bell. And Rusev goes after Dominic, but you see Dominic has the ring bell hammer. He still has it on his hand while he's getting the hell beating out of him. Rusev gets out of the ring. Dominic is trying to get to the hammer. and Penta steps on it. He takes the hammer. He's gonna hit Dominic. Dominic ducks. He hits Rusev. Dominic grabs Penta, throws him into the turnbuckle. Frog splash 1, 2, 3. Dominic is still your double champion, and supposedly he's on the route to the biggest match of his career, if the rumors are true, which I'm not gonna spoil until we talk about the Survivor Series predictions. Before the main event, we finally got word of how John Cena will get his final opponent on December 13th on Washington, D.C. We saw an interview of John Cena talking about how he got an opportunity in 2002 and how he is gonna pay it back to the wrestling business. And he announces a 16-man tournament where the winner will face John Cena in his final match. This tournament is called the Last Time Is Now tournament. It's a 16-man tournament with people from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and something pretty interesting that he said there, and people that don't even work in WWE. So you know that those people are gonna be like, oh, who could it be? Maybe people from TNA. So are we gonna see people from TNA appearing on WWE television in this tournament? And from the glimpses of the video package, we saw Sheamus, Bronson Reed, Dominic, The Miz, Carmelo Hayes, among others. So we saw around 11 people in that video package. So maybe those are 11 out of the 16, and maybe two people from NXT, and then 3 people from TNA, or maybe you think you know me. Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. Maybe 3 people from TNA, right? Like, who knows? But before that, John Cena has a stop at Survivor Series, and the tournament begins on November 10th on Boston, Massachusetts, which is when Cena returns. So maybe tonight on Raw we'll have like you know, like in a bingo hall, balls staking out with names on it. You know, like they need to announce the opponents tonight or next week, or maybe they'll announce it on SmackDown, right? Because we need to know who the 16 people are. But now we go to the main event. The main event for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Jey Uso. These two guys did not have the best chemistry, but the match was actually pretty decent, you know, like, except for the Jey Uso neckbreaker botch. But besides that, everything felt smoothly. You know, the match was decent. I wasn't expecting a 5-star classic because this wasn't the original plan. You know, like, this was pretty last minute. So they just went in there. They got through it. CM Punk is your new world heavyweight champion. And as the camera was on Punk, it was also on Jey Uso at the same time. And he took like a screenshot from that part, and he posted on an Instagram story saying, "Y'all win," with a finger flipping the fans off. So maybe tonight on Raw, we'll finally see the completion of the Jey Uso heel turn. I was not having Punk winning here tonight because for me, Punk needed to suffer a little bit more. And the match itself was the perfect vehicle for Jey Uso to cheat to win, but they're going in another direction, which I can understand where they're going. Maybe Punk versus Roman at WrestleMania. Or maybe Punk versus Breaker or something. Which I understand if that's where you're going. The decision of putting the title on Punk, but I would have put another hurdle on the way. Because besides the Jade Cargill win, Dominic is practically a babyface. Cody and Punk won. This was a babyface heavy show. And I would have had people's heart broken. I would have had people's hearts broken just to even things out. You know what I mean? Because Dominic's practically a babyface. So, you know, but hey, that's my opinion. And as always, if you like this type of content, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Cherish beautiful moments with your families, create beautiful memories, because life's too short, but those memories last a lifetime. As always, this is Anthony signing off. Bye bye.